So let's do the chanting straight away. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami, tudayambi buddham saranam gacchami, tudayambi dhammam saranam gacchami, tudayambi sangham saranam gacchami, tadayambi buddham saranam gacchami, tadayambi dhammam saranam gacchami, tadayambi sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from their happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, about to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, about to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, about to master them all. However endless the Buddhist way is, about to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Sumgate Bodhi Soha. Tayatam gati gati para sumgati bodhi soham. Tayatam gati para sumgati bodhi soham. So now get yourself comfortable for some meditation practice. Before we continue our commentary on my article, Meditation and its Benefits, Getting to Know Your Mind. We're up to the part of practical practice. Okay, so because last week we spoke about the breath meditation and so on, what to do before the actual meditation, in other words, chanting, gathering your mind, and so on, and then dedicating your merits afterwards. And today we will talk about some different types of meditation as well. Okay, before we go on to just a little bit deeper, the last few paragraphs as well to finish it up. And I estimate a month and a half before we move on to whatever it is that we're going to move on to. Haven't decided yet, but probably some Zen teachings coming from some Zen quotes that I've been promising you for a while. So like I said earlier, I hope you're all doing well. I think Hanneke is not with us here today in England very, very early. She's got some other commitments to get to. So it's freezing over there. I actually spoke to my uncle, as we do every Monday, on what is called these days Team, the Microsoft, used to be called Skype. And we speak with him every Monday evening for us. Yeah, it's freezing over there. Anyway, it's the weather report for Britain for the day. Let's do some meditation. So if you're comfortable enough now, bring your mind inside your body. During this releasing the tension from the body meditation, you can manipulate the body a bit, move it a bit, stretch it a little if you like. Or you can utilize the breath, long in breath, or deep in breath, long out breath, and release the tension on the out breath. Or you can just do it with your mind if you can. Apart from that, try to keep your body still in all meditation practice or during all meditation practice. If your body is consistently moving around, constantly moving around, your mind, unless you're a very advanced practitioner, your mind will be disturbed. So when you set aside time, make the effort to meditate, also make the effort to keep your body still, helping you to keep your mind still. So bring your mind to the body, the bottom of the body initially, and release whatever tension you may have all around your feet, around the toes, bottoms of the feet, the balls, the arches, the heels, the top of the feet, in between the toe bones, and around your ankles and Achilles tendons. From your lower leg or legs, calf muscles, around your shin, and from all around your knees and your upper legs, quads, hamstrings, further up the glutes, the groin, the hips, hip flexors, your lower stomach, and on and just above your hips, and also around to your lower back. And then further up your stomach, up your sides, and to the center of your back. And around your chest, and underneath your arms, around your armpit, and your upper back. Rhomboid muscles, lateral muscles, up to the upper trap muscles that are between your neck and shoulders. And also release from your shoulders. From around your biceps and triceps and elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, thumbs. Now bring your focus to your neck and release the tension from your neck, front of your neck, and the sides of your neck, the back of your neck, and the back of your head. From all around the sides of your head, around your ears and temples, and from all around your face, and the cheekbones and cheeks, chin, jaw, from inside and outside your mouth, and from your nose and sinuses, and eye socket, and eye. Release from your forehead, and also from the crown of your head. And now briefly scan your body, should say, from the bottom to the top. And if there's any leftover tensions, release it. And now bring your focus initially to the tip of your nose. And the feeling of the breath is the focus of the meditation, or the object of the meditation. Funny, my slip of the tongue before. released from your bottom, or something like that. Make myself laugh inside. Hopefully you are smiling inside too. So follow the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose, all the way into your lungs, and back out your nose again. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in your nose, the air passes your throat. It's quite cool as you breathe in. Goes past the bronchial area, fills the lungs with air. They expand. The stomach rises a bit. Then the stomach drops as the air leaves the lungs and they compress. And as the air passes your throat on the way out your nose, it's quite warm after being inside the body. So as you're focusing on this feeling of the breath as you breathe in and out, you could say that the sinus area is a good place to make sure you're focusing correctly, or your sinus area or your nose, tip of your nose. Then, of course, I mentioned the throat, and then, of course, the chest area, and then the lungs. Breathing in, breathing out. That's all you have to do physically. And mentally, all you have to do is focus on the breath. And if your mind wanders, replace your mind back onto the breath. As you're focusing on this breathing process, or the feeling of the breathing process, you can also use the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 up to 10. Don't count past 10, because the breath needs to remain the focus. And if you get distracted on the way towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. So as you're meditating, if thoughts arise or any other mental activity arises, don't cling to it or grasp at it or try to force it away or deny it, but simply let it go naturally as you replace your mind back onto the breath. Don't hang on to anything. And if your mind starts to become dull or sleepy, then replace it on the breath or back onto the breath more brightly. Don't try too hard. Don't try too little. Let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. And now we can switch techniques to the loving kindness meditation. Rejoice in your practice, rejoice in your goodness. Feel really good about yourself, your activities of meditation practice, and whatever other meritorious acts you engage in. And fill yourself with friendship, with the universal loving kindness, utilizing the visualization of visualizing your whole being filled with the white light. As mentioned, this includes friendship, also appreciation and respect, gratitude, where you are harmless, non-violent, kind. And of course, universal loving kindness is not separate from compassion either. Universal loving kindness, put in short, is the wish that all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. And then, of course, getting off our butts when we can to try to make this happen or do our best. And universal compassion is the wish that all beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and doing whatever we can to have this happen. They are the first two mentioned in the four immeasurables, or four sublime states of mind. Brahma Vihara. Vihara means abode. Vihara can actually mean a physical abode, like a temple, home of some sort. But also in this case for sure, it is mentioning the mind, so a mental abode. And the Brahma means very high and beyond, sublime. The third of these mentioned, I should mention in the old languages, the first two, or the first one, universal loving kindness, is known in Pali as metta, in Sanskrit as maitri. Universal compassion is known in both Pali and Sanskrit as karuna. And it's likewise with the word mudita, which means joy or empathetic joy, joy in the success of others. And these three are based on equanimity, upekkha in Pali or upeksha in Sanskrit. With the mind of equanimity, we are able to develop these states of mind, this Brahma Vihara, beyond limit. So equanimity is already beyond limit. If we are biased, if we don't have a mind of equanimity, don't have a mind of non-bias, then we will never be able to develop these other three beyond limit. Always going to be just a little bit biased, even if it's just slight. So we need to develop this mind of equanimity. Give up prejudging and so on. You're filling yourself with this universal loving kindness, so much so that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center and enters into the heart centers of your loved ones in front of you and fills them with the universal loving kindness as well, with the white light as well. Remember, the more that we are loving and kind, the more we are loving and kind. It doesn't diminish, so we give it away. It multiplies. And like I said before, alluded to before, eventually becoming immeasurable. Likewise with compassion and joy too. So have the wish that your loved ones be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Just a little footnote here. A lot of the time when people give instruction on loving kindness meditation, or people practice this type of meditation, they would normally use just the words or the thoughts, may they be happy. But we expand upon that to include compassion in this. So maybe they be happy and free from suffering. Or in full, may they be happy and have the causes of happiness. And may they be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. And may they be peaceful. So now expand this or radiate further and further, include strangers, of which most of the people actually that we're even in contact with, we can regard as strangers because we don't really know them. Maybe we don't have an attachment to them. And maybe we don't have any aversion or dislike for them. Our feelings are neutral. So I'd say this is most of the beings that we come into contact with. And now further and further extending and radiating this universal love and kindness to also include those you may regard as enemies. Extending and radiating this white light from your heart center to all of these people and filling them with the white light, the universal love and kindness. Wishing that they are all happy, free from suffering, and are peaceful. So let's now radiate this universal love and kindness out further and further, distance-wise, starting initially around your immediate area to all sentient beings now, whether you know about them or not, whether you like them or not, whether you're different to them or not, whether you don't like them or not, whether you fear them or are repulsed by them even. Now, time to give up the biases, develop this mind of equanimity, and in turn, this universal loving kindness mind, as well as compassion and joy. So all of the living beings around your immediate area that live on the land, under the land even, live in the waters, salt waters, fresh waters, no matter their size or appearance, whether they're born from wombs, moisture, eggs, or through transformation. Extend this loving kindness to them. All sentient beings, whether weak or strong, great or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born, may they all be happy. And let no one radiate, no one bias or deceive any being in any state whatsoever. And never wish harm upon others. Just like a mother protects her only child with her life, even so, let one cultivate a boundless love towards all sentient beings, and let one radiate this boundless love towards the entire world, above and below and in all directions, without hindrance, without any ill will, without enmity. In everything we do, extend this love and kindness. Right now, we are practicing the formal sitting meditation, extending this loving kindness. This will help us to develop and maintain this loving kindness throughout all of our activities too. So like I said, extending, radiating this universal loving kindness out further and further distance-wise, throughout your whole state or county. For all of the sentient beings. Maybe we can bring to mind ones we like. Maybe that's kangaroos or something. Ones we're indifferent towards, which is most of them. And like I said before, ones we may fear or have some sort of dislike for. Just bring to mind one of those. Realize no need to have the negative feelings. Also, no need to have the attachment. Develop this mind of equanimity. And therefore, universal loving kindness and compassion and joy. Now, throughout all of the states or counties throughout your whole country, and throughout all of the countries in the world. It's almost like when you're visualizing the white light going throughout the world, it's like a tidal wave of love and kindness. You can do it starting from where you're at right now and then it covering the whole world, down to the core of the earth, throughout all of the oceans and so on, to the outermost atmosphere. Or you can do both that and this, or just this as well. And that is, you can think of the different countries, ones you have an affinity towards, and start with them. Then ones you're indifferent towards, then ones you may not like. You can do it that way as well, and or. The important thing is to develop this universal loving kindness beyond limit. And now radiate this loving kindness out throughout the whole solar system. Once again, giving up any bias towards, for, or against the world that we live in right now. And even thinking of the solar system that we abide in, go beyond that throughout the whole galaxy. And throughout the whole universe and beyond. And have your loving kindness, compassion, and joy based on equanimity radiate throughout infinite space, whilst also being present here and now to recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious body, Chitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of Shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. So as I did a couple of weeks ago, when we were talking about predominantly the breath meditation, we did longer meditations with a bit of Dharma talk within the meditation instruction. So I thought I'd do that today. And what we're doing, we're covering this part of the article. Another method of meditation that is recommended is loving kindness meditation. As in the previous instruction, begin by sitting quietly in a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Take as much time on each aspect as you need to genuinely experience and radiate warm, loving kindness. So that's why I spent a bit more time and give some more details before, as we were just practicing. So it is another method of meditation practice, specifically to develop loving kindness, but also, as mentioned, to develop a mind of equanimity. All of these practices lead to generating merits, vast amounts of merits, purifying vast amounts of negative karma along the way. And they help us to develop the mind that is more ripe to realizing the supreme wisdom too. So you can say method and wisdom. These methods help the wisdom. Even though our wisdom may be limited right now, whatever wisdom we have, common sense we have, will help us to practice these methods well and accurately. So, as we know, other meditation methods you can practice, including the Tonglen or giving-taking meditation, specifically to develop compassion, whilst at the same time, once again, developing or accumulating vast amounts of merits, purifying vast amounts of negative karma, utilizing these methods along the way, developing the conditions that we need to realize the supreme wisdom. As in the previous instruction, which was 2 weeks ago now, begin by sitting quietly in a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. I think most people even find that difficult. Get in a comfortable position. Okay, yeah, we may have aches and pains. We may have sort of distracted minds, things like this. But right now, or whenever you engage in the formal sitting meditation, formal practice, sit in as comfortable a position as you can and gently close your eyes. If it is your want and your habit to keep your eyes slightly open, that is fine. I alternate my own practice, breath meditation, sometimes open or sometimes closed, sometimes open. Vipassana meditation, most of the time open, but be careful not to get distracted by visual things around you. If you have a tendency to be distracted by visual things around you, at that time, practice with your eyes closed, okay? All right, so that's that. We've only got less than 4 minutes to go, I think, 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm glad I did that up front in the instruction, all of the details. Take as much time as with each aspect as you need to genuinely experience and radiate warm loving kindness. So I'll just read really quickly, okay? And it's pretty much what we did, okay? Extend genuine warm loving kindness and compassion to yourself, to your family, loved ones, friends, to those you may regard as enemies, to those you may regard as strangers, to all sentient beings without exception, throughout infinite space, wishing that we all have happiness and its causes, and that we are free from suffering and its causes, and that we abide in genuine and warm loving kindness and compassion. Yeah, there you go. So that's like really paraphrasing it drastically, isn't it? And so, yeah, I remember writing a little bit of instruction with a bit more details on each aspect. And I thought I actually put it in this article, but obviously I took it out and just paraphrased it. Okay, so the next little bits I want to mention, I actually sort of touched on them a few weeks ago. And whenever we have the opportunity to practice meditation, to calm our mind, to develop more loving kindness, to develop more compassion, to develop the conditions we need to realize the supreme wisdom, we should do so. Why not? So there's a little bit of quirky sort of instruction here. Come up with these ideas years ago when I was still living in the temple in California, and I was searching for different ways to keep people interested, I guess, and different ways to share the Dharma that are genuine and accurate, but also very modern. So I thought of the car. And obviously, this leads me to say traffic light meditation. For those of you who drive, you could practice what I like to call traffic light meditation. If you are out driving and stop at a traffic light, rather than just wishing that the light turned green, I'll add impatiently most of the time, calm your mind by focusing on your breath. But don't close your eyes. Ha ha, says the article. So I could put in an LOL, couldn't I? So obviously don't close your eyes when you're in the car driving for obvious reasons. But you can close your eyes, obviously, if you're a passenger. And this is the same thing that happens. So when you get that red light, it's actually an opportunity for you to calm your mind, to slow down, take in all of the beauty around you, including your own mind, and give up all biases, give up all distractions and prejudices and so on. at that moment. So rather than, oh no, it's making me later, still, actually it's, oh yes, I get another opportunity to still my mind. Along with your regular meditation sessions, you could also do what I like to call meditation in a cup, like 2 to 3 minute noodles or soup. Whenever you have a few minutes free time, whether you are standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, just focus on your breath. And I would add to that as well that especially if you are stressed, that's the time when you really need to slow down, to still your mind, so you don't continue and follow this agitated mind and make it reinforce itself, make it worse. Remember, I say that their negative emotions actually are very shy. You can nip them in the bud straight away by paying pure awareness to them. As soon as you pay pure awareness based on equanimity mind, based on relative level of wisdom, compassion, and so on, kindness towards yourself, then the anger and so on, they melt away. They're only habitual tendencies that we have reinforced from time, from beginningless time, time immemorial. I think that's the words we can use. So I hope you've enjoyed today's class. As mentioned earlier and last week or the week before, we'll take another 4 weeks to wrap up this article before we get into maybe 1 or 2 conclusions and move on to the next subject. Okie dokie. So I rejoice in your meritorious goodness. I'm very happy to spend time with you, even though it's virtual, online. I think it's actually a great opportunity for us. It's actually very precious that we utilize this technology in a good way. I rejoice in your goodness. Practice, share the Dharma to the best of your ability. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.